Well, hello, good afternoon, and a very warm welcome back to the game here. Fantastic atmosphere here at Richmond this afternoon for the second of our semi-finals in the IDRC. It's Fiji against Ireland. We've already had, of course, the first one. Disappointment for UCAF, being beaten by the French in that first semi-final. So who is going to be meeting them in the final? That will all be revealed within the next hour and a half here. But first of all, let's just find out, shall we, the routes and certainly the way back, or the way forward for the two teams who've now reached this semi-final stage.
Through the forwards this time, and the beautiful run there from the tight end prop. That's absolutely fantastic stuff, and look at the footwork just to get to the line. Another try of the green and red shirts, and moving around the outside is Sokurubati, and another score before half-time. They've been ruthless, and she makes it through there. Another try for Fiji. What a start to the second half for them. Naimata on the right-hand side, a try for Fiji. This is absolutely brilliant stuff from the green and reds.
So again, scramble defence by Australia, and they're there. If Fiji can get a bit,
they're in, and they are over. It's another try for Fiji, and it was number 12 who got it. France are placed in the semi-final before they've even started, and going over for the try for them is number 11, Mirani Salebu.
Coming outside to Mullen, and Courtney Purslove on the outside. What pace has she got? All the pace she needs to finish off that move, and another try for UCAF.
Brilliant run from Chloe Farrell, who's already got a hat-trick of tries. Can she go all the way? She certainly can. She's beaten off a couple of challenges, and this is a brilliant, brilliant individual try from Chloe Farrell. It is her fourth try of the game, and that is pure class.
On the surface and wets the ball up.
So some great action there, and what a try that was there for the Irish player there to score that amazing try there. It was just something that we've really enjoyed watching. Well, joining us just on the commentary box here before we get underway is the Australian head coach, Rob Drinkwater. Rob, thanks for joining us today, and obviously a victory for your team yesterday in that cup semi-final. You'd have much rather been here today, wouldn't you, of course?
Oh, John, of course, that was the game we were expecting to be at, or hoping to be at least. But, you know, we've got our heads around that we're in the bottom half of the draw now, and we've still got a job to do and still something to play for.
What did you make of that first semi-final that you've just seen with the French and UCAF?
A great game. France, just their offloads really stuck today. Their forward power, forward dominance this afternoon was so strong. I think UCAF the scoreline was maybe flattering for the French at the end of it. UCAF were a lot closer than that, it appeared, from up here. But credit to the French, they are a quality side, as we know. They
are indeed, and the French obviously through to that final. We'll find out very shortly, of course, who they're going to be meeting in that final. It's going to be either Fiji or the Irish Defence Forces. We've got John Wilding here as well. And John, just bring you in. It's looking on paper like it could be Fiji's, but you never know with this competition, do you?
Well, at Aldershot earlier this week, everyone thought Tonga would get a nil again and wouldn't play the way they did, and Ireland had never scored a point, and that great game was a great game. Don't underestimate a team that's in semi-final rugby. As the range is coming down, it's all about how you front up in the first couple of minutes.
A suddenly change in conditions, Rob. I'm sure that these conditions might have suited the way you would like to have played here today.
Good
question, maybe not.
I don't think so.
We like the hard tracks. We like the fast decks. We could have coped in the rain. We had a good week in the rain before we came over here in Sydney. It's been really wet there, so we would have been prepared for that. But I think there's going to be a cracking fixture coming up. And of course, we've played both these teams, or at least the French team and the Fijian team, and they're both formidable outfits.
Yeah. Well, Rob, great to have you with us. Thanks very much for joining us. We're now obviously waiting for the two teams to come out for the game here, and the conditions are expected to get a little bit worse as we move through the afternoon. But obviously, we're hoping that that's not going to affect the game too much. Maybe time for us to have a bit of a run through the two teams. And John, first of all, looking maybe at the Fijian team, because Fiji are looking very, very strong here, aren't they, today? They've got power and pace just about everywhere, all over the field.
Yeah, I think they're the most powerful team we've certainly seen play in the tournament so far, in terms of individual power and power through contact. But they've also backed that up with severe pace. And I think what's really impressive is their back row, particularly Makoto and Mirini, as well as the 9-10. The Fijian 9, Rokaya, if I get the name right, was outstanding throughout the whole tournament. And those people, if they haven't got the ball, they go and get it. When they get it, they give it to someone else and they go forward. And it's a really simple game, but you have to stop it.
And I mean, interesting for them, of course, that their captain is back, Asita Batakila, who of course was missing for that semi-final.
Yeah, we saw her play in the pool games, and they freshen the team up completely. They're massive carriers, and Ireland, if they can have any success, have to stop them at source and get them to ground early.
Okay, let's bring Ian in as well, who's joining us from the referee's point of view, just getting his headphones and microphone together now. Obviously, we've got the national anthems. Ian will bring you in very, very shortly after the national anthems for your thought, but it's good to have a referee's view today.
The national anthem of Fiji.
national anthems for both teams. Let's very quickly go through the Irish lineup as well. And I guess, John, really, one of the key players for them is that captain, Queena Malloy, who has been absolutely amazing for them in her leadership of the team.
Everything that Good Ireland did has come through her. She's a talisman in both in attack and defence, and her work rate is phenomenal. I will also mention that Chloe Farrell scored arguably the individual try of the tournament, so don't forget her. But Queena Malloy definitely is one that anything that's Ireland are going to do well today is going to come through her.
It's a big day for Irish military rugby. I know that Queena, talking to her after the game, was absolutely ecstatic that they'd made it through. Just I mentioned for the officials as well, and talking that, Ian Key is joining us as well. Ian, thanks a lot for taking the time out for this game. You've made a late change as well to your officials lineup.
Yeah, unfortunately our Fijian referee is not very well at the moment, so we had to tweak the lineups for both games this morning.
So Trev McIntosh has taken the place. Sebastian Royer is looking after things, and Cab Townsend, now there's a name to conjure with. The chair of UCAF Rugby is running the line today, and that must be a first. I don't think we've ever come across that before.
Yeah, I think certainly in IDRC that's got to be the first, hasn't it?
Absolutely.
Okay, well, let's get into this game then, with the Irish Defence Forces going from left to right as we watch from the main stand here at Richmond.
The first Fijian attack there, that they lost the ball forward, and it probably is the first time they've played in the tournament with a wet ball, and some of these balls are quite greasy, so as I say, they're probably the most skillful ball handling team in the tournament, but even they will drop the ball.
That's a really good kick forward then from Orla Keeley for the Irish Defence Forces, wearing their dark green shirt. But this is what a drive! What a drive forward that was from the Fijians there, making a real start on this.
Yeah, so just a DLV high tackle just above the sternum by the Irish winger.
So if you look at it over the far side where there's a Fijian flag in the background which has been blown by some hell of a wind, which is at the Fiji's back. So you would expect that that any kicking for territory will have an advantage for Fiji, and you'd expect that whereas for Ireland to be kicking into the teeth of it, although it does appear to be gusting rather than constant. So you'll have to wait and see.
Goes into touch then on that far side of the field. I'm just waiting really.
It's also noticeable in the previous games, the Fijian 12 is their main go forward. Whenever they're in trouble, ball's too slow, they forward to her, and she just makes so many metres. So it's worth looking at after this. I don't think she'll get it first up. I think the pod that are hanging off the back here will get it straight. But then she'll be the secondary carry, and that's hard for teams to defend because she's a powerful runner.
So not straight in the line out there. You had both jumpers go up and well over the right-hand side of the Fiji shoulder.
Bringing it back. Great to have a referee's interpretation this afternoon. I think that you must have been delighted with the way that the officials have been operating here, Ian, throughout the competition.
Yeah, we've been really lucky with the standard of officials that we were given to the tournament, both from the international colleagues and what UCAF could put forward as well. And I think hopefully that's contributed to the tournament as a whole.
So Irish have the scrum then, the put in from their scrum half, Louise Dixon. And straight away that's the captain, Queena Malloy, who's taken a bit of a bang there on the back of the head. And I've got a feeling there's going to be a few words spoken about that. It was a pretty hefty challenge, wasn't it? Quite late.
The master of the understatement there, John, a bit of a bang. I think that was made slightly worse. Don't be wrong, it's wrong, and it's a foul play, it's a high tackle, but she did try and duck under it and just timed it all wrong. But
yeah, I think that's what's probably saved the Fijian player from a yellow card there, is where she's ducked under it.
And I think that's not necessarily Malloy's game there. She just straightens up and takes her on the inside. I think she wins the contact, but it's easy saying when you're in the back of a scrum that's going backwards.
It is indeed. Well, it's good from an Irish point of view to see that Queena is up and about, and she's obviously going to, hopefully the Irish, for them, can make some ground over onto the halfway line.
Well, you know she's tough because she put in a hell of a performance against Tonga.
She certainly did.
She physically took them on and led the Irish team to success in the end.
I mean, because obviously Tonga had clawed their way back into the game from being behind, and the way she led that team was just remarkable. Be good to know wherever you're tuning in today. I know we'll have a lot of viewers over in Fiji who are watching us, and certainly in Ireland too today. This is obviously a big day for World Cup rugby, isn't it, as well? But it's a massive day for us here with the IDRC, these semi-finals. This pitch here at Richmond looking in absolutely amazing condition. It didn't look like this a couple of months ago, I can assure you. They've done a remarkable job on it. I think it's virtually been relaid, hasn't it, the pitch?
I mean, it's looking beautiful for the start of the new championship season for them.
Yeah, and great for the Forces players to get a chance to play on a surface like this. Obviously, they've had really hard pitches to have to contend with throughout the majority of the tournament. So here come the Fijians then, going wide to the fullback to Ivan Rokawati. And that's great running from Sikiswana, wearing the number 11, the winger on this left-hand side. Fiji just putting the moves together. Great charge through from their number 8 from Mirani. Knocked forward by the Irish. They all get, in fact, they get the penalty for going over the top. So
Just offside.
very quickly taken by the Fijians.
Yeah,
Moving it wide onto that right-hand side. And are they going to go in? No, they're not. Good defence on the Irish in the end.
Yeah, well, I think the Irish have got to switch on this. If Fiji are in a 22 and they get a penalty, they're more likely to tap and go quickly, and you've got to get back 10, and they're going to run direct. And if you're not within that 5-metre line, you're going to get caught. From there, I think it was the Irish girl played the ball, and the player in front of her tried to dive on the ball and save it. That was the penalty for. From here, I expect to tap and go. I don't expect them to do anything else. Although
That's what they've done throughout the tournament, John.
Yeah, but actually their scrum's really good. But look how many Irish players at the breakdown here, which means there's got to be space elsewhere.
Wakala driving for the line. This is Siata. Just a couple of metres short now. And that's a drive through. And that is the first try of the afternoon for the Fijians. And it's Siani Rioma, I think, has gone in.
And that's just pure power and direct running. It's nothing that is unexpected. I'm sure the Irish are prepared for that. But, talking about it and doing a bit of training amongst yourselves is different to actually facing the next runner who's coming on a hard angle directly at you, and you've got to get him down.
So a great start for the Fijians then in this semi-final. Remember, they will play, or whoever wins this will play the French in the final. Chance for them to have the extras here with Riawi. And the fly half, who's been pretty accurate with the kicking boots. She adds the extras.
I think it's really important for Ireland to try and get some territory, try and get this ball and pressurise Fiji into mistake and get some time on the ball in Fiji half. If they don't and Fiji come back into this half here again, I think that you can very quickly see Fiji grow into the game. Whereas if you put them under pressure, they've proven they will make mistakes. But if you don't put them under pressure, Fiji will just run all day.
Yeah, we saw in the Australia game when Australia got the ball, Fiji made mistakes and gave silly penalties away. I think if Ireland are going to have a chance, that's what they're going to need to do.
Yeah, and the French game when they played Fiji, the French took a 13-0 lead, and that was just purely playing in the right area.
Well collected by the Irish there with Amy O'Neill, wearing 25. She's at full back today for the Irish Defence Forces. So a chance then for Fiji once again.
Yeah, but Fiji are playing semi-final rugby, whereas in the pools they were playing their own brand of rugby. You would never see them kick from there; they would run it back. But they're playing territory. Let's play in Ireland's half, and again, it's semi-final rugby is all about playing in the right place with the ball and putting pressure on the opposition for mistakes.
Comes out well once again. And this is a drive through, but Irish penalty, which surprisingly not Malloy wants to take quickly, but she can't. Referee just speaking to them. And one of the big problems that Fiji have had has been their discipline, and they've just for, I suspect, the majority of this tournament they've been down to 14 players.
Yeah, I mean, it's been incredible what they've been able to do with 14 or 13 players a lot through the tournament. I think that was just too many penalties in that first 10 minutes from Fiji, and seeing number 14 go to the bin.
Yeah.
And Ireland have got to build from this. These are the opportunities Fiji give you. You've got to take advantage of them. That means that there's one less player in the backfield. So you've got to win your ball, and you've got to take on, get the ball to your runners and try and find the space that they vacated.
So Kovakova in the bin for the next 10 minutes. Will that help the Irish Defence Forces get back into it? Brilliantly collected by the fullback, by Rokawati.
Strong.
She's so strong, isn't she? We've seen the pace and the power that she has scored some brilliant tries for them throughout the tournament. But she's also so strong as well.
Don't underestimate the semi-final rugby. And Fiji in the last Defence World Cup lost the semi-final to France, and they lost 6-5, and that hurt them a lot. But what that means is that there's a little bit of pressure on them until they get into their rhythm. But there was a simple unforced error, and that's usually a symptom of pressure. So don't underestimate the pressure that Fiji are under, because there's a lot of people just expect them to win, and sometimes that can be a crushing pressure.
Yeah, I think the Ireland team showed in that Tonga game they can play as well.
100%, and I think that all they've got to do is just get some go forward.
And that's what they're doing straight away. Here's Malloy driving into the Fijian half of the field. McNamara spreads it wide. Not for the referee, is allowing play to go on, allowing Fiji to carry on with it. It takes so many Irish players just to bring one of the Fijian players to the ground. Referees pull that one back. Penalty to Fiji.
The Irish attack there, if you just look at their last attack, they had Malloy carried a tap and go, carried it to 15 metres, made ground. The ball from there just went sideways. And for Fiji, that's so easy to defend. Someone's got to take the onus and just go, I'm going to support Malloy and just carry it forward.
Oh.
Yeah. But
cruncher again.
But that's where Fiji are going to be under pressure. You can't just do it off one person, because then they'll all be waiting for her. In terms of Fiji, you just look how they're taking the ball to the line, and they're just working through that first tackle, and the support runners are coming through. The wet ball is causing them a bit of an issue, but they're still getting the balance of territory right and possession. I watch the scrum here. I think the play from the scrum here will be out to the 10, and she'll pick the hole between the 12 and 13, I think.
Scrum half then Rocket with the put in. That's lovely work again, and this is wide now onto this left-hand side. And here's Rioma, still has it, beating off several challengers before she is brought to ground.
Yeah, and Fiji are getting some go forward here. That just need to hold on to the ball. You see they've already got an overlap here if they can look to use it.
And they can. Oh, such a powerful drive forward, and through goes the number 10, Riawi, to score the try, the second try for Fiji under the posts.
That's what Fiji can do with just 14 players on the pitch as well.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because every time they take the ball into contact, it attracts minimum 2 defenders, usually more. And if all you need is 2 carries and 8 players are out of the game. But the way you've got to stop that is that Ireland are just too high. They've got to drop their shoulder height and hit them around the midriff and start stopping them where they are, not allowing the offload, and making Fiji commit more to the breakdown, the offensive breakdown. But I am really conscious that it's easier said than done, especially when they've got some go forward off the strike play early on.
I was just about to agree with you on that.
So Benyana Riwai, who just scored the try, is going to try and put this one over. And that would make it 14-0. A nice round 14 minutes played.
She's got such a unique kicking style because she just punches that through, but usually it goes over. The Fijian 10 is actually a really wonderful ball player. Just watch. She's always got the ball in two hands. She's always showing the defence the ball, running angles and picking the right pass off it. Rarely does she get smashed with the ball, and rarely does she ever give a poor pass. And when you've got a player like that, all you've got to do as the rest of the team is pick angles off her run, and she will find you. If you expect the ball, she'll find you.
It's all the 14s, 14 minutes played. Fiji leading by 14 points to 0. They're down to 14 because their number 14 is in the sin bin. And it's not making the blindest bit of difference to this barrage of white shirts. That's brilliant play from them.
Just forward.
They just love to play the ball, don't they?
Yeah,
they just love it.
And for Ireland, they had a great kick and they had a great one-person chase. However, it was easy for the person receiving the ball to just step that one person. That needs to be 4 or 5 and pin her down there in front of behind all the rest of the team. But that's where it's just about heart and effort now from Ireland. They've got there's a lot going for them. They just need those, where there's 1s and 2s, they need to be 3s and 4s.
A couple of little mentions. Let's say hi to Lamar Potts. Come on, you girls in green. Robin Boucher, Aya Abu, and Jordan Hobbs. Go on, Dicko, and Danny Murphy. Come on, Ireland. Lots of support as well coming in from Fiji too. Luciana Kusmaya Buller from Fiji, and she says, "Go Fiji." Well, they've made a perfect start to this semi-final. Just over a quarter of an hour played. They're leading by 14 points to 0 here at Richmond.
That's another little bit of discipline lacking from Fiji there. They don't need to push early. They've got the scrum, where arguably the most powerful scrum, especially off the Irish put in, and they lost their discipline. They're too eager to get into the Irish faces, and that's just penalty you just don't need to give away. If you do that against the French, they're more likely to keep pressure on you if they go to the final. Whereas what it's done to Ireland is given them field position now and a point of pressure.
What can Ruth Johnson here then do with but it's stolen from the line out. It's a great work from Fiji again. Just clearing it out and straight away moving forward.
If you look at the Irish team now, they've all honey-potted to that breakdown, and actually if Fiji get the ball and just run straight and pass, they've got a massive edge here, and that's the same with the last breakdown here. Ireland have got to fill the field a little bit more, but that does predicate that you've got to make some one-on-one tackles. Right, there's the edge there.
The kick ball from the captain there, but it's gone the way of the Irish. Their captain Asita Batinkila, who been having a chat with her the other night, and just so thrilled to be here. And she was gutted to miss the semi-final.
Well, this is the semi-final.
So
the last
match. Yeah, I'm getting ahead of myself. Yeah, she was gutted to miss that final pool game.
It almost felt like a semi-final, the Australia-Fiji.
It did feel like it was a terrific match. Yeah,
she has a lot as well.
I'm going to see if they just hold off a little bit here. So it's the loose head going up and around and outside on the last scrum. Whether they try and attack again.
You kind of feel sorry for the Australians because they pushed the French probably further than the UCAF were able to do in this semi-final today, and they obviously also pushed the Fijians too in their final pool match. I
totally agree. Like, I thought Australia have probably, in terms of results and in the pools and the main, have underperformed for the performance they put out. But that's rugby, and they actually had lots of time in the French 22 in particular, probably 20 minutes where they didn't score, and that's what probably hurt them a little bit. They also had time to score in that game, and they just didn't do it, and that's part of it. But credit to the French. Good play.
Well done, Ireland, stealing away that line out with Linda McNamara.
Yeah.
They've got the penalty once again, the Fijians.
So McNamara has actually grown into this game really well. I think she's starting to show a bit of go forward and carry along with Malloy, and you just need one or two of the other forwards to get on her shoulder and support her, so that it actually sticks.
We're halfway through this first half already. Just 2 tries so far for Fiji, leading 14-0, both converted. For just joining us, our second semi-final here today at Richmond.
Great tackle from Malloy.
And this is a magnificent break then from the Fijians, and it's their number 14, their right winger, Savia Kavora, who has gone over for the 3rd try for Fiji, and that puts them 19-0 in front. It was a magnificent run from her on that right-hand side.
I think that'll be frustrating for Ireland there, because that all came from that missed kick to touch from the penalty that just gave Fiji the chance to break away.
In fact, was it the fullback who went over in the end? I think
it was the left winger. I think it was the number 11. Yeah. But exactly right, Ian. They'll get frustrated because they had the control of the game where they were going to play. Missed kick for touch, and then they all swarm to the breakdown and try and bounce out. And what that ends up doing after a while is just showing Fiji the edge, and you have to say that was a great offload for the scoring pass, particularly with a wet ball. That's a great offload, but that's Fiji, and you've got to expect that, you've got to work for that, and you've got to be there.
Well, their number 14 is back on the field now. Fullback Rokawati with the chance for the conversion, and she's put that one over.
Just change her kicking style again.
Yeah, and the change of kicker.
Yeah. But this is where Ireland last time put a great kick in, but only one person chased right down. That's where it's got to be 3 and 4, and put pressure on the catcher and see what happens. It's a wet ball, it's a windy day, and things happen when you put players under pressure. You've got to commit to it. I'd like to see the ball to get to the Irish centres, because I think they got some pace in there that they can actually trouble the team, but the team need to go forward before they can do that.
Yeah, we haven't seen Chloe Farrell on the ball yet today, and she was lethal in the last game.
Yeah, absolutely, and
Well, the Fijians just simply haven't allowed the Irish backs to get into the game at all, have they?
No, not at all. But you see, there's a chase coming here. There's 2 people pressuring the kicker there.
Full back underneath it, Amy O'Neill. Here's the scrum half, Louise Dixon. Runs into a Fijian brick wall again.
Yeah.
Ireland have got the opportunity here. That's their...
They've got the overlap on the left-hand side, numbers left.
And they have got the penalty. Great work from Jan Smith there on that front row, sealing that penalty for Ireland. Now, what can they achieve with this?
Don't underestimate the bravery of the Irish fly half there to take a massive hit, stay on her feet and go forward. Again, that's the sort of thing that Ireland need to build upon.
And they're going to go for the points, which I think is probably a wise decision at this stage. 21-0 down. It'd be nice for them to have something to show for their efforts in this first half.
Yeah, you can debate either way here. Would I have gone for it? I'd leave that in the players' mindset. It gives them a bit to get their breath back, and if you get this, it's great. It does seem like it's into the teeth of the wind, which is a challenge. But she's shown us in the tournament before that she can do this. But I would like to personally see them hold on to the ball and just play some phases in the Fijian half and see what else they can do.
Yeah, it is difficult for them. Patricia Coote then, the chance to get the Irish Defence Forces on the score sheets, and it's drifted away to the left. opportunity gone, but it was she certainly had the length. It was just the direction that went wrong, and maybe it was the wind that caught it.
I think we saw it again there with Ireland. Every time they get 3 or 4 phases together, it's ended in a penalty against Fiji. So they've just got to hang on to that ball, draw those penalties, and then try and gain territory from what they get.
But yeah, exactly, build on penalties, build on territory you can gain from that. But also, we've already shown the referee will reward you with a card if necessary for that pressure. But conversely, you've got to show some intent to do that. And the advantage of taking a kick there.
Good kick and chase.
If you miss it, they kick it back to you. But look where they are now. They're back to where the penalty was. But now you've got to make it. You've got to play rugby.
Now their extraordinary captain Quiver Molloy gives the Irish a chance here. And here again is McNamara. Made a big impact for the Irish so far in this game.
That's a good run round play. Oh. That's Ireland doing what Fiji do to them with the run round play for 12, but we didn't quite get it off to the 10 in space. Probably made famous by Johnny Sexton back in the men's game. I think the Irish now, they're getting some territory around here. This scrum becomes really important, not because it's the next one, but just now show Fiji you can put pressure on them.
I think they've got to make Fiji try and play out of here, not give the penalty at the scrum and give them territory.
Yeah. So your line speed from your back line, back row get off early, and whatever Fiji do with this, just put pressure on them, see what they do. It's a better scrum from Ireland.
It was. Fiji again approaching the halfway line here. Every time they have the ball, they look dangerous, look like they could score.
Great tackle.
That's a great tackle. There's our superstar in defence now, Flowerell. What she does in attack against the other day, but she was brilliant there.
Picked up by the number 8. Fantastic work, and once again a chance for the winger to go through for another try. Sione Roma has crossed again for Fiji, and a 4th try.
That dummy from the Fijian 8, I bought that. That was outstanding. And again, one of the key players in this Fijian side is her link play, and just always gives go forward. Beats the first defender, keeps the ball alive, waves the ball in front of the defence, and just like a magic wand, gives the right pass. But it all came from a scrum back there where the Fijian 10 ran across and the 12 cut a really hard line. And that's probably the killer move of the whole tournament. If whoever's gonna, if Fiji go to the final and if they play France, that's a move they have to defend, because whenever they need go forward, that's what they do, and you have to honour that line as well as mark the 10.
But that build-up work, fantastic work from the number 8, wasn't it, from Marini there, to really set them on their way.
But it's the little details like that almost went into touch here, but they fought to stay in the field. Great kick again, and from there they got to go forward from pretty much slow ball. And again, that's their strength, is that you can generate quick ball from slow ball.
It's that carrying strength. I think any other team could have ended up in touch there, and you've got a line out, whereas Fiji can keep it in play, and as you say, get the pace back from the slow ball.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fiji leading 28-0 here, in total control as we approach the half hour.
So again, from Ireland's point of view, it's just that simple. Simplify the whole game. Give you what we're going to do next phase. Identify where you're going to kick the ball. 3 or 4 people chase, put pressure on the kicker, and then build your defence from there.
Easier said than done, John, isn't it?
I'm an international from the touchline, but they've done it here. So we see what happens. See what happens.
Now they've got a chance.
Yeah, and again, that's your second row working hard off the ball, and look what can happen.
That's Maeve Gleeson there. Ball lands with the captain, with Molloy. Now, what can the Irish do here? Trying to approach the line. Ruth Johnson there, hooker. Runs to ground. Here's Coote. Out wide, collected by Chloe Farrell.
Great footwork.
to step out of that tackle was brilliant.
And again,
Malloy,
good
such
strength.
desperate determination on her part to.
Just as we've identified Farrell as a threat, so have Fiji, and if the ball is looping towards her, she's getting the ball and the Fijian at the same time, but she's staying on her feet and keeping the ball alive.
Collected for Fiji.
There you go. Good kick chase. Now what happens?
Picked up by O'Neill. But it's Fiji who will have the penalty.
No, that's
offside.
Unlucky. That's a scrum. So it's unlucky that that bit of play there, because actually that's a good bit of pressure from Ireland. But it's really unlucky that they pressured the kick. See what happened? There was an error. They pressurised a bit more. Fiji kicked, probably a loose kick, but Fiji made it into a good kick because they chased and nailed the catcher.
I said a penalty didn't, because Sebastian Roy just appeared to put his arm in the air, but it's obviously a scrum, and it's a call for no medical support needed.
No water.
No water needed, not at this particular stage.
It's not the hottest of days today. I don't think they need the water.
No. And it's
probably the coolest day we've had so far, isn't it, in this tournament?
It's a coaching message, definitely, not water.
Can't believe you're being so cynical, John.
I'm only judging by my own standards. Again, a better scrum from Ireland there.
But it's not stopped the Fijians charging forward again. Their magnificent number 8 forward, and they're going in for another try here. This time it's the scrum half. Anna Maria Rokia has gone through for a 5th try for Fiji.
And there's the problem, the puzzle that Ireland have got to solve. They got shoved off the early scrum, so they've all committed to the drive and scrum. And they stopped that, but what that meant is the back row is still in scrummaging. So the number 8 picked up, and where the back row should have got them, they weren't there, and it's up to the Fijian number 8 then pick the right pass out, as she's done all day long. But they're doing the right thing. They're just stopping the first source by scrummaging. They've just got to now understand that when the ball's out, you've still got to get off and try and make that tackle.
Well, Fiji unstoppable at the moment. They played 31 minutes. They're scoring more than a point a minute. 33-0 they lead. The chance now for another 2 points to be added to that. Every point crucial for them. And again, it's the fullback, Ivamir Rokawati, who will take it. Not an easy one here, particularly with the wind swirling around a bit. She's caught it, and she's caught it just right.
Absolutely.
35-0.
So sadly, Ireland are not getting a reward on the scoreboard for the effort they're putting in. They are putting some effort in here, quite a lot of effort, but they're just not holding on to the ball. And probably the thing I would say to them as a coach now is just hold on to the ball. Whatever we do, don't kick it away, just hold on to the ball and just get numbers behind the ball.
Keep drawing those penalties from Fiji, keep working their way up the field, and then they just need to be a little bit more clinical once they get up there.
And that's the thing, you can only do that if you hold on to the ball.
Wakala driving her way through the Irish defence in her own half. Ball spread wide then, and here's Dunny, Eleanor Dunny. The captain feeds it out right onto that right-hand side, and again the Fijians just relentless in their pressure. Well, that was a really high push, and it's left.
Yeah, I think
it's left Shenda Moran on the floor there.
Yeah, well, she's at fault. I think she's going to
get up now, but she's just feeling that one. And I'm not surprised. There's a lot of pressure went there in that push.
And like they're brave, the Irish. They really are. It's just not easy. Anyone watching this, it's just not easy defending the Fijians at the moment. But they're putting their bodies on the line for the team. It's just what if you're being technical here, you just got to get your shoulders into their midriff and drive them back. But at the moment they're getting sucked into being chest on chest, which is not only bringing the referee into the game, but it's hard to stop someone who's more powerful than you if you're going in chest on chest.
Yeah, the Irish bravery, there is no question about that. Working so hard, so little reward for them so far, but huge credit to the Fijians. The power and the pace that they have is driving them through to this final. Greetings to all of you watching over there in Suva and the rest of Fiji today.
This is going to go right, I think. You look at it, the 12 is that's usually a good sign of where the ball is. I imagine the 8 will pick up here, or the 9, and go right. The Irish are all lined up to mark the Fijian width on the left.
Just while waiting, a mention for the Fijians under servicewomen over on the Galan Heights at the moment, who are watching from the United Nations there. A very good afternoon to you, and I'm sure you're enjoying your afternoon watching this. And the singing has broken out here in the stand as well from the Fijian supporters as they look for yet another try. And this time it's their number 12, it's Vivi Sikiswana, who has gone over, and it's a 6th try for Fiji. Well, this is turning into quite a performance from them.
Just repeat and rinse.
Yeah, look, it's hard to say, much more than that. But from up here and watching Fiji before, it all revolves around 8, 10, 12. Usually where those 3 are is where it's going to go. So if they're showing to go right, which they did there, you probably need to gamble. At some point, Ireland need to just sell out in one thing and gamble that you put the overlap there and try to make them go where they don't want to go.
Yeah, the problem is if you don't stop them at source, they've just got too much pace and power out wide.
Yeah.
So once they start that move, it's very difficult to stop.
Absolutely. But yeah, I think that's a great run from the 12, but she ran 50 metres pretty much untouched, and that's because the 10 drew all the defenders and timed the pass really well.
So can Rokawati make it a full complement of conversions for Fiji? That has just gone wide to the left-hand side, so that's the first failed conversion from them so far. Remains,
which you're probably not seeing on the CV, but the kicking conditions are not ideal here, so that's an impressive record, and they haven't all been under the post.
40 points to 0 they lead.
Probably a good time to mention that whilst this game's going on, comms from Komatai from the British Army is playing for Fiji against Scotland. So a great day for Fiji all round.
Yeah, comms playing against Sarah Bonner. I think they're kind of up against each other, aren't they?
They are indeed, yeah.
And that's got to be a first for British military rugby, obviously with...
That's a good kick.
Yeah, nice one.
You can see the difference there between the Irish kicks and the Fijian kicks is 3 people pressurising the ball, the receiver. Again, Fiji though, they don't keep the discipline. There you go.
So you're just having a quick look at the latest scores.
Yeah, and Komatai scored for Fiji.
And Komatai scored.
Yeah, and that's great to say. I think she's been probably the breakout player for the inter-services for the last 2 years, and has just shone both the UCAF and the British Army.
Well, if she's not nominated for the Army Sportsman of the Year, I'd be very surprised. But that's
and yet,
amazing stuff.
And yet a more humble player you would never meet.
Yeah. Ian, just checking a replay for something. Have you spotted something that maybe we didn't see?
So I think we've just had a foul play in from the AR. I'm just looking at the action of the right arm of the Fijian player there. She's going past on the fend off. Potentially is leading with the elbow, I think, and the forearm. It was interesting. About 5 minutes ago, one of the scrums, he just had a quiet word with Fijian players about it. Obviously, it looks like this one's made contact.
Yeah, and it is a yellow card.
That's great work between the team of three. Obviously, the AR's the one who spotted it there and put it in for the referee.
And it's the number 7, Satiri Makoto, who has been sent to the bin. And with just a couple of minutes left in this first half, then she'll be missing probably for the first 7 or 8 minutes of the second half.
She's a big loss for Fiji because although she probably hasn't got the highlighted ball carries, she does all the horrible work. She's in every breakdown, clearing. She's latching on. She's just supporting she is wherever the ball is. She's probably 5 meters away from it all times. And at Fiji, that work rate is needed for the rest of the team to be able to play their rugby. So she's a big loss.
You mentioned good work there between the 3 officials, one of them being an Air Vice Marshal as well today, with Cab Townsend, who's looking after the line here. And Ian, from your point of view, to have someone as senior as this, who's chair of UCAF Rugby, playing such an important part, that's pretty amazing, really.
Yeah, it's brilliant. It just helps give that bit of extra support to the rest of us in military rugby. I mean, as referees, we're generally really well supported, probably better than civilian referees, but just to have that support from the top is excellent, and he seems to be doing a very good job so far.
He did say he was looking forward to it.
He bravely got in between the 2 players there.
Yes. He got involved in the dirty work there.
Yeah.
Irish put in then to the scrum. Into the last minute of this first half here. And it's been a very satisfying performance so far for the Fijians. They lead by 40 points to 0. They've scored 6 tries. But the Irish still giving it their all, still trying and making everyone proud. Well collected.
Great stuff.
And this is lovely stuff from the player who you'd expect to be producing the goods for Ireland, and that's Chloe Farrell. Had a magnificent game against Tonga. The try of the tournament, arguably so far.
It's close between her and a couple of the Zambian tries, I think.
There are some brilliant tries as well. And also a couple of great tries for looseheads. Mustn't forget those as well.
Yeah, there's been some absolutely exceptional ones from them.
And that is the half-time whistle blown by Sebastian Raya. And as I say, a very satisfactory first half for the Fijians, leading by 40 points to 0 at half-time. You couldn't imagine there's any way back for either for the Irish now, John and Ian, but still some hope for them because they are very much, making their efforts to stay in this game.
Yeah, this is a tough time for them, but there's actually a positive way to look at it. They've shown they can get into the Fijian half, they can stay in there, they can put pressure on it. And as Ian said, if you put pressure on the Fijians, they'll give penalties away. If they give penalties away, you can go up the field even more. The Irish line-out's okay. But also then the cards are coming into play, so you can do that. The Irish, just the end there, the Irish 13 making the break. They've got players who can beat people. What the problem at the moment is, it's either the back row or the centres, but the rest of the team need to go forward. In terms of defence, they have to try and find a way to stop the Fijian ball carriers at source, either at the scrum or the line-out. But that, as I say, that probably what needs to do is just put more numbers in and lower your body height, and see what Fiji do from there. I still think that Fiji, in terms of their work on, is just discipline. Is that they're making this, they're bringing Ireland into the game by their lack of discipline. If they just do the basics well and hold on to the ball and just play what the referee's telling them, they won't bring Ireland into the game.
Okay, thanks very much indeed to John and Ian. Back with us, of course, for the second half. More to come in this second half of the game. Let's find out, though, and check out on the highlights, in case you missed it, of the first semi-final here today between UCAF and the French.
She's at the lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
And that's good from Swiar, the hooker. That's very, very good indeed. And getting the ball through the hands. This is wonderful from the French at the very beginning of this game. And what a brilliant start for the defending champions. A try in the first 10 minutes of this game. Forwards trying to pick and drive as well around the fringes of that breakdown. Ball comes back. Just a little slower this time from France, but it's coming over the line, and they've scored once more, the second for France this afternoon in this first semi-final of the IDRC. And through it comes Bethan Dainton. It's a clean take, and it's a driving maul for UCAF. Can they respond here? The women in purple getting very, very close to that whitewash. They've got over. UCAF respond and hit back. Right again, and just bouncing defenders off for is Manon Leduc. Baru. UCAF really under pressure here at the try line, and it's another one for France just before the interval.
We've seen definite changes in their gameplay, so for France's sake I hope that those players that have come on have grown through the tournament, and there's no change for France in their attacking picture or defensive picture.
Romero to Bergeron, trying to get that flat, and that's wonderful from Chastain, who's just on the field only a few moments and scores right over that whitewash. Another try for France, their fourth today.
But Fahey's done. Oh, she got it. No.
Buisson
Yeah.
has taken it in the end. She's so hard to take down, Océane Buisson. That's fantastic work, and getting it through the hands, finding a bit more space out in this left-hand side now of France, and that's wonderful work just on the field. Fanny Camus, number 22, and a brilliant score for the defending champions. Quickly taken to Becky Wilson. Hasn't quite got enough on this occasion. Space lining out in this left-hand side, and Williams firing it through to Fahy. Jazz Abel, and UCAF get another. The Navy fullback this time on the left-hand side. And what about that as a way to finish? Full-time whistle sounds, the French jubilant in celebration. Heartbreak for UCAF, the end of the road for the home side in the main competition. They've been swept aside by the defending champions, 31 points to 12.
Two very one-sided games have put Australia and Zambia through to the Challenge Cup final of the International Defence Rugby Competition. In match one at Guildford Rugby Club, the Australian right wing Charlize Lloyd-Phillips got the green and gold underway before Stella Tiju scored 2 of a 5-try haul. The left wing also slotted home 8 conversions. Two each from Hannah Clark and Brittany Fuller. And a hat-trick from fly half Madeline Matthews contributed to the ladies from Down Under crossing the line 16 times in a determined performance, securing them a massive 98-12 win over Tonga. The Tongans, who could only manage 2 tries and a conversion in 80 minutes, still looked a vastly improved side than the one that was steamrolled to nothing in their first 2 games. Australia, though, played with so much pride, something that would have been dented by failing to make it out of the Pool B group of death behind France and Fiji. Losing by only 5 and 6 points respectively in those fixtures was especially tough for a team who deserved to go further. In the second match, which was delayed twice due to lightning in the area, Zambia ran in 11 tries to give them a 67-5 victory over the Vodafone Looseheads. Lashomu Luwena and Jessie Juma took centre stage, both scoring a hat-trick, and Luwena also proving her worth with the boot, kicking 6 successful conversions. In atrocious and clearly unpredictable conditions, Zambia again showed off their full skill set and flair style, which has lit up the IDRC. We can only wonder what would have happened had they not been delayed by visa issues and had arrived in time to play their first match against the Irish Defence Force. In reply, the Looseheads again struggled to penetrate the opposition's defence, but when they scored, it was a good one. Hannah Thornhill touching down just after half-time to get the Reds on the scoreboard. These teams will all play their final games at Newbury on Tuesday this week.
She's at lightning pace, and she's going to go through and score the try. And that is a fantastic try.
Well, Kath reporting there on those 2 semi-finals in the Challenge Cup competition, which happened yesterday down at Guildford Rugby Club. Just a reminder of those final scores: Australia beating Tonga by 98 points to 12, and a victory for the Zambians over the Looseheads by 67 points to 5. They of course, those 2 winners will go through to the Challenge Cup final, which will be on Tuesday, and that's happening down at Newbury Rugby Club. Relentless, this competition, isn't it? Well, half-time here, and if you're just joining us, it's looking pretty good for the Fijian side, leading by 40 points to 0 at half-time over the Irish Defence Forces. And just a bit of news coming through as well from that international from the World Cup, with Fiji against Scotland, and Com scoring a try for Fiji, but it was Scotland who won through by 29 points to 15 in the end, in what sounded to be a pretty exciting match. And John and Ian back with us as we wait for the Fijians to come out onto the pitch for this second half. And Ian, just bring you in first, really. What have the Irish got to do in this? Obviously, there's a lot of pride at stake, and they'll want to get themselves on the score sheet as quickly as they can.
Yeah, I think they probably deserve to be as well. I think they've just got to do what they did well in that first half and keep drawing the penalties from Fiji by keeping possession. I think Sebastian, the referee, shown that he's not afraid to get the card out if it's deserved, and hopefully find themselves playing up against some softer shoulders or slightly lesser numbers and keep working their way up the field.
Fijian back row, Satiri Makato is serving a sin binning at the moment. I think she probably missed the last 2 minutes of that first half, so we can see her at least 16-17 minutes sat out this first period of the second half, and that was a bit of a clash going through there as well, and a bit of a hefty challenge then on the Irish number 3, is it, who's just down at the moment?
Number 4.
The number 4, which is Linda McNamara.
So she's just been tackled into her own player.
And she went into her own player, and
but absolute brave, because that's arguably the worst kick to field in rugby, is right on the 10, just short. But you've got to make it work, because if you let it bounce, it's a free kick, and all the Fijians are flying at her. So absolute bravery, and it's just unfortunate that they bounced into each other there and whatever. So again, it just highlights whatever the score is and whatever the possession and stats are. Ireland are giving everything they've got here. That's utter bravery to do that.
And just talking to Quiver after the victory for them over Tonga on Tuesday, I mean, the genuine joy that the Irish teams have got through to the semi-finals, the furthest they've ever been in this competition, and they've achieved a huge amount here. I mean, they suffered a big defeat, of course, at the hands of UCAF, but they came back against Tonga, and they were up against it against that Tongan side, and they produced a really great comeback. So a huge amount of credit has to go to the Irish side and their head coach Liam Dromer.
That what you just said there is the biggest thing. They went out to a decent lead. Tonga came back physically and dominantly, and were battering them physically. But Ireland came back and found a way to win, and not only just found a way, classy way to win. They've got some fit territory. They kicked some goals, and when you've got the weapon that is the Chloe Farrell, who scored length of the pitch, you've got the ability to score from anywhere. So they should take a lot of credit from it.
And I think you've got to remember as well, some of these girls for Ireland only picked up the ball 5 months ago, 6 months ago. And you look at, same for Tonga, the way they've grown into the tournament, some of the rugby they're now producing, it's really brilliant to see. Yeah,
absolutely, and they're here on merit. They deserve to be here. I think that they probably they are here on merit, and they just need to just believe that. I think there's a little bit of belief at the moment in the physicality of the Fijians. They're almost waiting to see what the Fijians do and then trying to stop them rather than trying to impose their game on Fiji. But that will come in 8 times, and they've made the semi-final here. Hopefully they make the next IDRC, and then give them something now, and they know the taste of it, and go into the next one.
Well, sadly, Linda McNamara having to leave the field for the Irish. I think obviously it's a head injury, isn't it? So she has to be assessed. But that could be her game over.
Yeah, there's no assessment really. It's recognised and removed. So if either the medical team or the match officials have seen something that makes them concerned, not from a concussion point of view, then she'll be asked to leave the field, and that'll be her done for the day.
Irrespective of what she says.
Yeah.
Or she'll be desperate to stay on.
Or the coaching staff.
Yeah. And rightly so.
So Ireland down to 14 at the moment while they get the replacement sorted, and while that's happening, Fiji on that far side of the field, the rain just beginning to pour down here in West London now at Richmond. That won't stop the Fijians though from driving forward. Brought back, and there's another couple of head clashes here, and the medical team running on very, very quickly here, because there's a couple of, and the referee just signalling for them to be over as quickly as possible. And one of those is Queeve, who's down, Queeve Malloy. Ian is just having to leave us because I think there's just some referee and official checks that need to be made here.
Yeah, I think this is quite a bad leg injury here.
It's about a bad injury for Queeve, and this would be such a huge shame for her if she can't stay on the field here, but she's obviously in a lot of pain.
Yeah, it'd be a huge shame for the tournament, because she's been one of the stars of the tournament, and this is a heartbreaking thing for her. But she is the talisman for this team, and physically puts them on her shoulder and leads the way forward. So it's always heartbreaking to see that to anyone, but particularly someone who's actually established himself as one of the stars of the tournament. Yeah,
well, it's she is moving. That's good to see her moving around, but obviously when the medical teams run on so quickly, you do worry. And
sometimes it's more the shock of what's happened. You think you should be injured. I think that, and sometimes you surprise yourself that you're not. But she is such a tough person. When we've seen that all tournament, that she's so tough that there's a genuine hurt here.
A few mentions I can mention. Let's go Fiji, says Urea. John Nerve says good morning from Fiji, 3:36 in the morning on Sunday morning, but I bet people are tuning in huge numbers to watch this. And also Fergal McLaughlin says, come on you ladies in green, you're doing us proud.
Absolutely, yeah, absolutely. 3:30 in the morning in Fiji, and you're watching.
And they're watching. That's dedication for you. They'd probably be watching the Fijian team against Scotland as well. But I bet there's people who had 2 TVs on.
And credit to them.
So Queeve is up on her feet, and that is good. That is great to see her. Whether she's going to be able to continue or not.
Yeah, I think she's playing on from what I've just heard.
Oh, really? Okay. Well, that is really good news to hear, Ian.
And again, I think, without being, you'd almost have to force her off the field. if it's not showing on the TV screen, the weather is absolutely terrible at the moment. The wind, the rain is coming in droves. So, if it doesn't show in the ball handling, then the credit to the players, because this is not only a wet pitch but a wet ball now.
I just wonder whether these wet conditions might suit Ireland a little bit better than Fiji.
Well, only if it slows down Fiji, but you still what it does is takes your energy away because there's more scrums.
Okay, so Fiji then have it once more. Drive through again from Sisquana, and she's going to go all the way. And it's the number 8 of N who's gone through. Barini has gone through for another try for Fiji.
10-12-8. Again, they just make stuff happen. It's interesting. The last scrum, before I'll let you talk a minute in, but the last scrum, Fiji didn't go in with the number 8. It was on their ball, and yet they still won. They were still sturdy enough to get the ball out the back of the scrum.
That rain is really coming in sheets across the pitch.
Driving rain, isn't it now? Making a change. The numbers looks like virtually the entire front row is being changed over for the Fijians,
who've had to scrummage for most of the game with a player less, but hasn't shown. So they've put the effort in as well as all the carries they've made. I wouldn't be surprised if the 12 goes off soon and the 10, just to preserve them for what we obviously think is going to be the final. But if you're going to stop something, stop the Fijian 12. If they get around her, then fine. But at the moment, she's just creating havoc everywhere she goes.
Yeah, they've almost got to push that back foot a little bit more and just really get up in her face before she gets a chance to distribute.
They've got nothing to lose now. Just try and do that. It's a lovely kick.
So Ireland get underway once again. And such are the guts and determination of the Irish team. Not giving up, they're still going here, but loose ball knocked forward, and it's collected by another of those strong Fijian players. Ball comes back, and referee taking it back.
That's great tactical play from Fiji, because wet weather rugby, let's not play any rugby in our half. Kick it, good kick off by Ireland, get the ball, kick it down, scrum down to Fiji in the Ireland half. You probably haven't seen that all tournament, but in wet weather rugby and semi-final rugby, that's absolutely brilliant now, because any mistake Ireland makes, Fiji ball in Ireland half.
Ireland though with the scrum, Fiji sorry with the scrum, and they'll bring it clear nicely out onto the left hand side with the Riwe, and she's still going. Viniana Riwe.
That's good defence by Ireland, and a good tackle. If they can just string 2 or 3 of those together, they can put pressure on Fiji and they can get up the pitch.
They do have a very strong wind in their favour in this second half. You can just see the flags, Fijian flag on that far side of the field, and in fact yeah,
he's working hard to keep that in the air at the moment, I think.
yeah, absolutely. So coming on for Ireland then is Abigail Bounce. She's come on, and we'll.
This winger coming off has been absolutely brave, because the amount of time she's been on the last person with a few people running at her, and she's never shied away. Good credit to her there.
Yeah, she's got a nice broad smile on her face too, and as a comment that we've just had, great respect is what it's all about. Respect for each other in this game. Sinead,
absolutely.
Yeah, Sinead Cribben has gone off, and this game is all about respect. It's tough and it's hard out there.
If you're the winger on the edge and they've worked the overlap and there's 3 or 4 of them running at you, it's a tough place to be, because it's one-on-one. There's usually no one else to come and help you, and she's never shied away. And she, credit to her. a great scrum by a 7-person Fijian.
Oh, look at that from the Fijians, pushing forward and picking this ball up right in the middle of the field. It's the number 12 again, Siskwana. Spreads it wide to the fullback, and this is going to be a lovely ball inside, and it's another try for the Fijians.
Well, that was great work by 25 to get across and get the cover and tackle in, but it's just their ability to offload. It just recycles so quickly.
If you want to be super tactical at the moment, the difference between the two 10s is a royal microcosm of the game. You look at the Fijian 10 there. When she got the ball, she ran forward and then drifted across the defence, and all that did was just bring the whole defence to her, and she just offloaded the ball to the fullback. The Irish 10, because she's feeling so much pressure, is going laterally straight away, and by doing that, all she's doing is pushing the defenders onto the person she's passing the ball with. It's a hard thing to do when your team's under pressure and your forwards are under pressure, but you must square up and try and take the line on and hold that defender.
I'll make that a hat-trick of tries, by the way, for Sieni Rama. For Fiji, that conversion is going to go well wide.
You can see
52-0 is the score. Jinxie Byrne doing us proud. Come on, the ladies in green, all heart out there on the pitch. Well done to them all. Gina from Ireland. Well, Gina, I think what you're saying will reflect a lot of people's thoughts here, and maybe those back in Fiji as well, who know that the Fijian team are so far ahead now, 52-0, that they're almost certain now to make it through to the final. But nevertheless, this is a semi-final of a competition that's been so hard fought, and they're playing their parts here. Almost running into each other there. They're so strong, and here she goes once again. She's got a hat-trick of tries already. She's looking for a fourth.
Amy O'Neill making the cover and tackle again there.
Yeah, she's played well. Come on.
Here's Satiri Rokatoa, but the penalty goes to Ireland. And they are now back to a full 15 complement. Don't forget, they played so much of this game down to 14 players. They had a couple of sin bins so far, but it makes not an iota of difference to the way the Fijians play their game.
Yeah, and that's the challenge to any team playing them, is that you've got to make that be a bit difficult for Fiji, and a lot of that's just you've got to try and get some parity in the physicality. If you can do that, then their discipline or lack of will work against them.
Line out then right on the halfway line with Ruth Johnson with the ball. Ireland do well to hold on to it, but it's been held up, and they will have the scrum. A few messages as well. Mita Siru, Fiji too good. You're probably right there, Mita, but message from Mary Lou Moylan, come on Ireland. And if the Irish were to score a try here, I think that the roars would ring out around, you'd probably hear it at Twickenham Stadium.
Yeah.
But we've been having the Fijian fans in song as well here, adding to the colour. Maybe they'll start singing for us again before too long. Really adding to the brilliant atmosphere we've had in this tournament so far. We've had some brilliant days over the last 2.5 weeks, and we've still got more to come with the final itself at Gloucester on Wednesday. 3rd and 4th place playoff. Looks at this stage like it'll be between UCAF and the Irish Defence Forces, with that final between Fiji and France. But we mustn't count our chickens just yet, although looking at it, 51 minutes played, Ireland are going to have to produce some sort of rugby miracle, I think, to turn this one around.
There is example of where the Fijian Achilles heel is. Brand new replacement front row, dominant scrum, no need to drive in, just front up and push square, and yet they all went inside and gave an easy penalty to the referee to give. Again, that's their Achilles heel, is that not only the card discipline, but the discipline just to play the game.
And this is where Ireland just haven't been able to capitalise. They've got the penalty, got the line out, and then just overthrown their own line out, and away Fiji go down the park.
And here they go once more. And this is a replacement winger, Lysiana Taraguchi.
It's a great step.
Well stopped.
Yeah, it's 3 in a row now for Amy O'Neill on the covering tackles.
Yeah, she must have been unlucky not to start, I'd have thought.
Dancing their way through here, and here come the backs once more, and this time it's Serena Relumu still going, and she's going to go for another try for Fiji.
A few tired bodies, I think, for Ireland, starting to show there. A couple of missed tackles in that last-minute break.
Yeah, and if you're an Irish forward, you've had to scrum against a powerful scrum. You've had to ruck and maul against that powerful Fijian set of forwards, and it does drain you. The scoreboard will drain you, the weather will drain you, and you'll just feel the world's against you. But you have to credit them; they don't give up, and they still go forward. It just shows that last play there. The line out is so important. If you've got to be able to win your own ball, otherwise you can't sustain pressure. And a lot of that's because the Fijians will throw people up and pressurise the thrower. So you have to give the Fijians credit, but without a line out that you can maintain ball with, you can't sustain pressure.
Well, the kicking duties have returned to the fly half, to number 10, Riwai rather, and she's put it over, and it's 59-0.
Just going back to that point about the line out, with the change in law now, it's so interesting to see when teams decide to throw someone up or not. Yeah. And in conditions like this, if you don't put someone up, it's such an easy out with the wind for Ireland or for Fiji. So Fiji being very smart by just throwing someone up and hoping it forces them to throw not straight.
Well, especially if you can see that the thrower can't hit the back, so naturally it's only going to be the front. I think you're always going to send up, but Fiji initially always put someone up the front. And all that does over time is put the pressure on the hooker to hit double top every time. And that's a pressure that, as you fatigue, it's hard to withstand.
Oh, the pace and the power. But well tackled, all brought to the ground by Johnson there.
And the soft hands of a massive prop just to put her away. That's beautiful play.
We've seen the last action, by the way, from Riwai. That was her last contribution to the team with that conversion.
That's an unlucky penalty there from the Irish hooker, because she made a great tackle. Unfortunately, just got pinned under the floor a little bit and then rolled the wrong way. But right decision, but just unfortunate, because that's a hell of a tackle.
And a great kick to touch as well from Fiji.
And there's the things where Ireland were kicking and making 5 to 10 metres. Fiji have made 20 metres just by one kick.
And they're kicking into the wind as well.
Yeah, it's just little things like that. You have to credit Ireland a lot, but Fiji are playing wet weather rugby really, really well at the moment. Arguably, they're actually not playing wet weather rugby because they're offloading every time, but they're playing really, really sensible semi-final rugby and not giving Ireland a sniff.
Goes long, but I think it was just a little bit off centre, that line out.
That's the blindside flanker throwing the ball in there.
Yeah.
So again, I don't think the numbers on their backs really matter when it comes to handling the ball. They can all handle it, and it's one of their strengths, is that no matter any situation they can handle the ball with confidence.
As the rain drives down again here in Richmond. This weather was expected, by the way. We had glorious sunshine to start with, and I think the majority of the first semi-final was played in bright and sunny conditions. Certainly bright and sunny from the French point of view, but Ireland have it. And it's that amazing captain for them, Caoimhe Molloy. Wins that battle, and the Irish bring it forward. And
that's one of the toughest jobs in rugby, is on a scrum that's going backwards, is pick the ball up and go forward and give your team a target. It's just tough all around, but she made yards there, and again gave your team a focus and allowed an exit to happen. as you say, captain, fantastic, but you know.
So let's see how Yalala does with that line out.
Got to listen to the referee.
Yeah, just trying to get the numbers right there.
Yeah. So interesting here, Ireland pre-bound at the front, so no matter where the ball's going, they're going up at the front, which means that it's going to have to be a straight ball, but it also gives you a free ball at the midfield, so there will be a good decision.
Slippery ball.
But it's also not straight, which means by putting that person up, you can get the scrum. That's the benefit of the new law. Where that works against you is if you've got an accurate thrower, if you lob it over the top of the front jumper for Ireland, it's an easy ball for Fiji to play off.
Yeah, build the ball at the back and drive it from there is a lot easier than from the front.
Yeah. But fair play to Ireland because they're still thinking, they're still problem solving, and they've got reward for it.
Irish scrum then.
Another reminder then to the fans on the far side of the pitch, please move behind
Might be a slight language problem on the far side of the pitch. One of the Fijian supporters has now been told to get himself behind the fence.
Yeah, the man
just for his own safety, I think, as much as anything.
The man who's been working hard with the flag all day. I think he's got a bit too excited.
Yeah.
That's a nice option.
That's a great kick. That's an absolutely fantastic kick there.
And when the scoreboard's like this, you've got to try something different. Fiji have gone quick.
Yeah, not wasting any time, are they?
No. But you've got to try something different, and you know I wholeheartedly applaud that. You just got to try and put the energy in to make it work.
So that's high tackle advantage there.
Overlap here.
Oh, lovely work again. Great offload. Chance then wide on this right-hand side. It's Roma again. She's still going. Enters the 22. Before she's finally tackled.
That scattered defence tackling from Ireland's been actually saving probably a couple of tries here.
100%, and that's heart and commitment. There's not necessarily technique there, it's heart and commitment. And you know, as I say, the covering tackle and the scramble defence is particularly when, as I say, the 20 Amy O'Neill has come on.
Well, she's the fullback. She was wearing 25 to start with, so she's been on the field from the start.
So she, particularly from her, her cover defence has just been phenomenal.
Yeah. Irish prop Joanne Smith just going back into position as the Irish get their penalty. Looking to make as much as they can.
This is really important now that Ireland win this ball in the line out. Give them some go forward, give them some energy, and take them out of defence, so they save some energy and try and put some pressure on which is largely a replacement heavy Fijian team. Look at Fiji are going to launch 2 pods here. Yeah. So you've got to credit Fiji because they're putting the pressure on the thrower, and the thrower's not seeing an easy out here. So fair play to Fiji. No matter who they put on the field, they're still thinking like winners.
You can hear yourselves think among the rival supporters here.
Yeah, there's a second battle going on in the stands here, I think, with the cheering.
It's a great effort from both sets of supporters here to spur their teams on. That'll mean a lot to the Irish players as well.
I think this
given the situation they're in.
This is going to go line side, I'd have thought. Okay, maybe not. Oh. But there's only one Irish player, which would have married 2.
It's a magnificent drive forward again.
That's the third time they've run that move.
Siru.
Different person, but third time.
back into the middle of the pitch. It's just wherever they are, the Fijians have got the strength. And again, this is the 23 who's come on, and the penalty has been awarded. Irish captain just checking what that was given for by Sebastian Raya.
Yeah, I think he's just had a word with her about the tackle height. There's just been a couple up above the sternum in the last sort of 10 minutes or so by Ireland. I think he's probably just asked her to bring them down a bit.
Yeah, a little bit of fatigue in defence, but also Ireland, Fijians attacking them on their inside shoulders, and it's the most natural thing in the world to stand upright and fling your arm out. Good decision, and exactly the right thing to do. But it's interesting that Fiji, the Fiji is getting a lot of success from that run across the defence and put an inside runner through. That's probably the third time they've done it, and each time they've made at least 30 metres.
We've had at least one message from an Ireland supporter on YouTube saying, "Come on, Fiji, give Ireland a try." I don't think there's any chance at all of that happening.
No.
The way this Fijian team, they're absolutely relentless, and they're coming forward one more time, and this is going to be yet another try, is it, for them? It certainly is. And once again, it's Sieni Roma who's gone over for her 4th try of the game.
There's a great effort again from the Irish 25, Amy O'Neill there.
Yeah.
And you're damned if you do, damned if you don't. You've got to gamble on whoever you got the ball from. But she worked hard across there. And again, you have to say the work rate has been exceptional from the Irish team for not a lot of reward. You can't.
Well, no reward whatsoever, really, John.
Well, yeah, not on the scoreboard, but
that's the 10th try for Fiji in this game, and yet another different kicker. This time it's Lavena Kavuru who's going to try to get that between the posts. This is not an easy kick, is it?
Not with that wind swirling out there, no.
Two huddles at the moment, one behind the post for the Irish and the other one just in their own half of the Fijian team. As the kick comes over, and very unluckily it hits the crossbar.
That's a great work.
It was a brilliant effort.
Great line.
And may you bear in mind this wind that is sort of going cross field.
I don't think she could do that again if she wanted to.
No,
that was a great kick and so unlucky.
Yeah, it deserved to go with it, didn't it?
Yeah, agreed.
Almost like a Tiger Woods putt away. But you have to say that it's a very impressive Fijian performance at the moment through everything, even down to goal kicking. They're just clinical and just keep the foot on the gas.
I think it's been a lot more of a complete performance from Fiji compared to other games in the tournament where their flair's probably got them out of trouble at times, whereas this time they've scrummed well, line out well, and just played sensible rugby.
Yeah,
just playing their game, aren't they? And it's just.
But the previous kicks where they were exited by kicks earned them the chance to play hands out. So they're just making good decisions. Their Achilles heel is just the discipline, especially around the tackle, whether that be them in defence or with the tackle in offence. That's their Achilles heel, and the problem is that other teams haven't had the time and the wherewithal to exploit that Achilles heel.
Well, the Irish are seeing if they've tried something a bit different with this penalty rather than doing the quick kicks that they've been doing.
So something around the front or something no jump, throw it to the front person maybe, because look at the Fijians again, they're going to load up 2 jumping pods, which is going to put, if you just go for a traditional lineup, puts a pressure on the jumpers. So I would look at either throw it with a no jump or choose someone at the front. They're looking to drive this no matter what though, because the scrum half is a number 8. There you go.
Goes short, and now a drive from the Irish. Can they get anywhere near the Fijian line? Pushing really hard, but being pushed back by the players in their white. But Ireland bring it clear. This is Joanne Smith, great work from her. Driving over the Fijians, but here's the captain Malloy. But she's tackled on the ball. And Fiji will bring it clear once more with this incredible pace that they have.
But couldn't beat the pace
Kameri Suru
of Chloe Farrell there.
Yeah, good covering tackle.
And this is lovely play again from the Fijians. And this magnificent right winger who's had an extraordinary game for them plays it out to the number 23, to Kamari Suru. Play continues. Fiji still have it. Turn defence into attack. Here's their skipper. Here's Esther Pastakila. Batinikila, rather. My apologies on pronunciations.
I think they all just got stuck on top of each other. There was 3 Irish tacklers in there and just got landed on top of each other and couldn't get away from the tackle area.
Yeah, I mean, any other team, I'd be saying you're wasting overlaps because they've got the numbers out wide. Fijian attack is filling the width of the pitch, but all tournament going narrow against the teeth of the defence has still got them good go forward.
Again, the Fijians. Oof, that was a hefty challenge going in there. No quarter given. Nice offload out onto the left-hand side, and that's going to be yet another try for Fiji. And this time it's a Vasiti Solikuviti who scores. Solikuviti, an 11th try for Fiji.
Big last 11 minutes here, I think, for Ireland. They've just got to keep those tired bodies going. They're looking to flag a little bit at the moment.
Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I mean, anyone who's played any rugby for a length of time has been under the post when for the 10th or 11th time in a game. And what do you say? And what you say is actually really simple. Just make the next play, all buy into the next play. Whatever we're going to do, this is what we're going to do, and this is how we're going to do it. And give a focus, because it's very easy to split into groups of individuals, which Ireland haven't, and that's a credit to them and their coaching staff. And their pride is that they haven't split into a group of individuals. They're still trying, but they've probably got to do something different now.
That's if they can get the ball, John, which is the biggest issue for them, isn't it, really? Conversion. Oh, again has hit the crossbar. Do you know, we do this sometimes for fun, the crossbar challenge, don't we, with players, and they can spend the whole afternoon trying to hit the crossbar. We've just had 2 from either side.
I've got egg on my face now because I said she wouldn't be able to do it again, and she's gone and done it again.
I didn't want to say that.
I never heard you say it.
I've jinxed that. Oh, don't worry, the rest of the referees will be reminding me that I did say it.
That's in the book.
Incredible.
Yeah.
70 minutes played almost here. We've got around 10 minutes to go in this second semi-final. 69-0, Fiji leading the Irish Defence Forces here at Richmond. It's been a very tough afternoon for the ladies in green, but they are still giving it their all. They're still trying their very, very best, led by their inspirational captain.
So they've got an option here. So the winger on the far side's offside, so it'll be either a penalty where she was offside or scrum back from where it was kicked.
I'd argue to take the penalty.
Looks like she has.
Yeah.
Just go for as much ground as they can.
So the last line out, Ireland put a good drive in, and certainly initial shove that Fiji weren't set for, and Fiji are never going to be set for that if they're launching 2 pods into the air. So again, let's go for that same thing again.
And a change for the Irish with Laz coming on for them. Lazo Kiete. Sounds more of a Fijian name than an Irish one, but we call her Laz anyway. That's what I was told by the coach. You call her Laz, so we will. Ireland then with the put in here.
So sensibly they've shortened the line out Ireland to prevent 2 pods going up. Not straight, and sadly. That's unfortunate, but they're still problem solving in terms of picking the right tactics. They're just not executing it well. So the tactical decision makers are still making the right calls and still thinking correctly, but just unable to execute.
Yeah, and I think that's promising, hopefully, for the third, fourth game, see them grow, and then obviously 4 years' time, if they're making the right decisions and a bit more experience, they can come back with even more about them.
Absolutely.
I was just going to say, literally at that moment, how is this going to affect the Irish players going into that third, fourth play? Obviously, two disappointed teams to have been knocked out at the semi-final stage in UCAF and the Irish Defence Forces. But bearing in mind, obviously, that UCAF have already played the Irish Defence Forces, haven't they, and beaten them well in the pool competition. They'll have a bit to prove.
Yeah, I think Ireland will fancy themselves to put in a better performance second time round than first time round, especially after what they've been able to do well today. They've just got a few things to tidy up, and I think Fiji have been fantastic, and I think most teams would have struggled to stop them today.
And of course the Fijians again will face France who played Fiji in the pool competition as well, the pool stages, and I'm sure that the French are already analysing the video from that to see where they can actually find some chinks in the Fijian armour, if there are any.
Yeah, I think there are. I really do. And it's worth saying that Australia were in the lead at half-time against Fiji. It was at 12-0. France were in the lead 13-0 against Fiji for the first 25 minutes. So there are chinks there, and if you put pressure on them, they will give penalties and cards away. But that requires you to be playing for 80 minutes.
You've just got to keep ball for 80 minutes and make them make their mistakes.
Yeah.
Not easy.
No.
Against this incredibly talented team who look like they're heading for another try here. And this time it's the number 23, it's Kamari Seru, who has gone over their 12th try of the game.
Well, I have to say, Chloe Farrell took all the plaudits for what she did in attack the other day, but her defence at the moment is outstanding. She's never missed a tackle, and she's
sat
always
on the pitch at the moment.
Yeah, that's because she put a great tackle in, and unfortunately the player offloaded. She's shown the other side of the game that is required for rugby players. You can't just do it in attack, you've also got to put it in D.
I mean, but today, when she has had the ball, she's had a couple of brilliant runs as well.
Always beats the first defender, and you can't ask anything more than that.
It's 74-0 to Fiji here. Magnificent performance from them.
So Kaviru's not going for the hat-trick then, they've changed the kicker.
Yeah. No. Once again, this is the fullback who's once again taken over kicking duties.
Because she couldn't do that again, could she?
Rukawati. Is it going to happen? Are we going to get a third crossbar challenge?
You'll set me up for
I say no. I had a 50% chance of being right.
So in the just talking about Ireland playing UCAF in the third, fourth playoff, it really doesn't matter what's happened before. It matters how you come out of the disappointment of today. UCAF were absolutely gutted and are absolutely gutted, and rightly so. As are Ireland. It's how you respond from that physically, mentally, and emotionally to get up for a game that is important to play for that team. So it really is hard to call, because let's be honest, who wants to play in the third, fourth playoff when you're in the semi-final?
Absolutely. Doesn't matter what the tournament is.
Dropouts from the Irish 10 have been nice and long. Just need to get some chases on them.
Just forward in the offload.
Yeah.
Let's come straight back. A couple of Irish changes as well. 17 and 18, Alison Gibbons and Lisa Hainworth have come on for them in these last few minutes. And just a little rest and maybe a drop of treatment for, I think it's Joanne Smith, the Irish number 1. And prop.
You always notice a little bit more serious when they haven't moved. So but it wouldn't be the worst thing in the world for one of the front rows just take a little breather here, give them an opportunity to focus where they are and what they're going to do next. But to be fair to her, she hasn't moved her leg once.
No.
Nor she really made a meal of it either. She's just sat there.
No, it looks like it's a left thigh, isn't it? So it's.
Yeah.
And do you know what? It must be fatigue setting with all the players, because the number of games that they played in such a short time, it's quite remarkable, really, what they've all achieved.
Yeah, the demand of this tournament has been extraordinary, and the way the teams have kept fronting up, and to be fair, delivering some absolutely excellent rugby throughout the whole of the tournament. It's never really dipped. I think it's an absolute credit to the players and the coaching staff and recovery guys.
It's just built, the quality of the tournament's just built. I mean, this is semi-final rugby. Arguably, semi-finals are always a little bit not as good as the earlier rounds, and then the finals are a blinder. But I think you can argue that this has been really, really good today. But it's just built and built and built. You know, and don't underestimate, as you say, there the staff and the support staff, and you know, the planning the recovery for some players is crucial.
Mary Smith says, proud of you, Chloe Farrell. And the whole of Ireland will be proud of her today. We're heading towards 4 o'clock in the morning in Fiji. Is it 25 to 4 at the moment, or something like that?
The party's just getting
getting underway. And Ireland have a penalty. Quickly taken by the captain, by Malloy. And
could be in trouble here.
And that is the Fijian captain, who once again, Asita Patinquila, has been sin bin. She was sin bin in the opening pool match as well.
But that's just the captain being smart.
Yeah,
and
trying to be
still awake. Yeah, well, no, the Irish captain Malloy being smart, and she took the quick penalty in front of the referee, as the referee asked her to do, and then run at the Fijian player who instinctively made a tackle. No, you know, that's smart play. You know, nothing I wouldn't expect from Chloe Malloy.
So, what can the Irish do here? Then they've from the penalty, they've got the line out, as close to the line, frankly, as they've been in this second half. And they've got it back again.
Contact in there as well, so they've got the penalty advantage.
So Malloy trying to make as much ground as possible and try and get the Irish to that line. Here's Gleeson. That's one of the two, Anya Gleeson. Oh, and it's knocked forward by the Ireland, but it will come back for the penalty.
Yeah. I think you're into the territory now. Don't go to the line out. Just tap and give her. There you go.
Just give it your best.
We might get another.
And here's Malloy, and she's driving for the line. And can she make it?
It's good defence.
Great defence from Fiji.
Penalty advantage for high tackle.
Can Ireland get the try here?
Well, there's numbers out wide if they carry short again, but they've got to go back to their captain here. They've got to go to their captain. There we go.
She has it.
And she gives go forward.
Wrestling with it.
And yeah, again.
And another penalty.
Another card, is it?
Might just be a warning this time. She's had a couple of penalties in a row there.
Yep.
It would mean so much to the Irish players if they can cross this Fijian whitewash. And this is the best chance they've had in the whole game. Once again, Malloy driving for that line. She's so close, but held up once more. Now, can Ireland do it this time? Back again it goes. And into touch.
Now she is in trouble.
And that will be another penalty. And I've got to feel it could be another yellow card here.
Yeah, almost certainly. That's just cynical there from the number 8 for Fiji.
Yeah.
No, there's no need for it at this stage in the game, is there really?
But that's their Achilles heel. But you've got to be in the game on the scoreboard to make this count. And that's where France will look for the final and say, right, you know, we have to stick to our game plan. We've proven works in parts of the game.
And you've got to get it out wide now. You've got so many numbers out wide.
So Fiji are now down to 13, but they have won it back. This is a magnificent drive then from Siru. Ball goes wide onto the left. Fiji breaking once again. Look at the pace they have and the speed, and so little that Ireland can do to stop them, with Kavaru still going. And Fiji have the penalty. All getting a little bit tense and tough out there.
That's impressive. I mean, 13 players, that's impressive to run the ball out from under your post.
Yeah, and you look at the penalty that Ireland gave away, that's not silly. They just didn't have anything else they could do there. The tackler, they've got 2 tacklers in there and they just get trapped on the wrong side.
No more left in the tank, really. They have given absolutely everything.
And that's
ball kicked out, and that is the end of the game. And it's a fantastic performance from Fiji. 74 points to 0, they have won. Ireland coming so close there right at the end to getting the try, which should have been no consolation whatsoever, of course. But wow, what a performance from Fiji today.
Yeah, you absolutely. Look, Fiji were outstanding. They do things so well that they are physically more dynamic and powerful and better ball carriers than probably every other team in the competition, player for player. And that's a devastating combination. They have an Achilles heel, and that's discipline. They will give away penalties that they just don't need to do, or their enthusiasm will give away penalties that don't need to happen. They get numbers off the pitch, but that you still have to do that to stop them. For me, the French team have got the game to do it, but they have to do it for 80 minutes, and the big work on is you can't allow the Fijians to stay on their feet in contact, because they stay on their feet, drive their legs and give offloads, and it's hard to play from that.
I've seen quite a few copious notes being made over there, John, by the French coaches and indeed the French players, looking on very, very closely at this performance from Fiji, and just wondering what they can do. But stay on their feet. That's your advice.
Well, no. It's get the Fijians off their feet.
Yeah.
So in the carry, you've got to get into ground and stop the offload game, because the offload game is difficult to stop at the best of the time, but you have to do that.
I think the other thing is you've got to be clinical when you get your chances. Fiji, are going to score points. You're not going to keep them below 10, 12 points. So when you get your chance, you've got to go there and score and execute it when you're up their end of the pitch.
And don't try and get sucked into the Fijian game. Don't try and offload the ball or anything. Play your game. And you have to credit Fiji, because other than discipline, there isn't a weakness there. Their line-out defence is good. Their line-out is actually good in attack. Their scrum is really powerful, whether they've got 7 or 8 people on the pitch. Their decision makers at 8, 9, 10 are outstanding, and they've got strike runners out wide. So there isn't but they are beatable if you use their lack of discipline against them. But that requires, you can't switch off for 5 minutes in a game if you do that, because they're in.
Was there anything that the Irish could have done to change the course of that game?
It's easy to sit here and at the end of that and say, well, no, not really, whatever. But it takes a totally committed team to just drop your body height in contact, and a lot of things would have changed if. All I'll say is, if you watch what I called her Chloe, but Quima Malloy, what she does in contact, whether it's attack or defence, if the other players in a team adopt her body height, her power and her attitude, then you can stop them, because Fiji will give penalties away. And the referee becomes your friend in terms of that, as long as you keep your discipline. You can't switch off, though, because any turnover ball, they're the most devastating team in the tournament. So you've got to be accurate, you've got to know what you're doing, and you could have done that. So, the best team won, let's be honest, but you've got to respect what Ireland put on the park today and how they never stopped working. Yeah,
I think Ireland will be frustrated, because I think they probably had a couple of chances, and I think if they put a couple of tries on the scoreboard, they'd probably go home relatively happy. But you can't take away from what they put on the pitch and how hard they worked. And looking down in the huddle now, there's still a lot of smiles in that group of players, and I think they'll be up for UCAF.
Well, John and Ian, thank you so much again for your contribution to our coverage here this afternoon at Richmond. Earlier on, of course, it was a French victory against UCAF, and that means, of course, now the lineup for Wednesday's finals are going to be as such. It's going to be UCAF against the Irish Defence Force, with an 11 o'clock kickoff at Gloucester for the fourth place playoff. The final itself will be kicking off at 3:15. Fiji against France. I wonder whether you can hear the singing that's just going on around the ground at the moment. It will be, I think, very fitting maybe for us to leave you here at Richmond this afternoon with these wonderful sounds of the singing that's going on around the stadium. But for me, John Knighton, from Si and all Kath and the rest of the team here, and also for our team back at our headquarters, thank you so much indeed for watching today. Thank you for watching the tournament here, the IDRC. We're looking forward to bringing you that live coverage on Wednesday over at Gloucester with the kick-off, as I say, the early kick-off in the third, fourth place playoff at 11 o'clock. From all of us, a very good afternoon.